How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the crazy anti-Trump protesters over in UK who have been out in full force since Trump's been on his UK visit. While he was talking to the Queen and talking to the Prime Minister, they've been out there in the streets acting a total plum fool. Now, there's a lot to unpack here as it relates to the protesters, but before we even get into it, let's watch this clip. This will encapsulate the general attitude of the protesters. After we get done with that, I'll give you a little bit more context behind it. I'll talk about some other things that are going on. I'll give you my 2 cents, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
You act like that, you act like Donald Trump, so don't. You're right. You act like that, you act like Donald Trump.
All right, so you saw that, you heard that. Now, this was totally crazy. A couple of things here. Obviously, that was an elderly man. He was allegedly a Trump supporter. He had on a red and white hat. I couldn't see what was on it. It might have been a MAGA hat. I don't really know what's going on, but it doesn't really matter. The point is that he is a Trump supporter and he was assaulted by that crazy crowd. Wherever we come in society, it doesn't matter if UK, United States, talking about just in general in the world where you can just assault an elderly man and it's not really a big deal because he's on a different side of the aisle than you are politically. I really don't get it. Shouldn't the protests be peaceful? Why is it so violent? And why is it that anytime I see a leftist protest, it's always like this? Especially when you have Trump supporters involved. The media will try to tell you that Trump supporters are racist, angry, violent, white males. But every time I see protests that involve the left who are anti-Trump, the anti-Trump people are always engaging in violence against the Trump supporters. I've seen plenty of guys over here in the States and abroad that have been bloodied up, bruised up, beat up, spit on, all of that because they are Trump supporters. I saw a video recently here in the States of this Hollywood actor. I forget his name. I think he's also a rapper. This dude got out of his car and spit on a woman because she is a Trump supporter and had on her MAGA hat. People talking about, oh, it's dangerous to be LGBT or minority or Muslim or whatever in Trump's America, but I can't tell. Show me the true incidents of a hate crime from a Trump supporter against a leftist, and then show me the true incidents the other way around. And you'll probably find more of the latter rather than the former. You know, and if you don't, I'd be totally shocked because all I see is leftists beating up on Trump supporters or trying to beat up on us. You know, I've had my hat on in the airport. I've had my MAGA hat on just around town randomly, but I've never had anybody approach me. Now, granted, I am a pretty big dude. You may not be able to tell, but I'm 6'3", 220 pounds right now. So I'm not going to get anybody to really come up to me and try to fight. But other people have had it happen, like this elderly man right here. That lets you know how weak the left are, but I digress. To give you a little bit of context, there was a anti-Trump rally of sorts that was led by Jeremy Corbyn, who is a leftist party leader over in UK. All right. So should we get on Jeremy Corbyn for inciting violence? I mean, they try to say Trump is inciting violence by telling people in the crowd, knock this guy out if he punches one of y'all. So if Trump is to be inciting violence by saying defend yourself against crazy people that want to beat on you, then why is Jeremy Corbyn not held to the same level of accountability when he's preaching this anti-Trump rhetoric and a Trump supporter, an old man, gets pushed to the ground? Man, I'm just trying to figure out if we have the same rules for everyone or if they only apply to conservatives when the rules come from the left. I'm just saying, but I'll move on. There was a video I shared from last year, as Facebook told me, about a pro-Trump rally in UK. And there was a guy that was leading it, apparently with a megaphone, talking about we love you, Harold. We love you, Trump. The UK loves you, all that good stuff. Okay, and I shared it. I'm talking about, hey, why doesn't the media show this? They want to show all the, the hate that Trump gets. Why not show the love that he gets over in UK? Because we got to be fair. It's not just crazy leftists in UK or London to be specific. You got people that are on both sides of the particular aisle. Okay, and let's not forget that UK voted to leave the European Union. So you got more conservative leaning people than you may imagine. But again, I'll move on. Facebook put this little notice, and I'll place it on the screen before you, talking about this is a hoax. It's not from this year. How was it a hoax? Did it happen? Was it in UK? Was it in London? Were there real people there having a real Trump supporter rally? I never said that it was from this year. I just said, why not cover this? The media shows foul footage, old footage all the time. I mean, it wasn't even old. We're talking about just 1 year ago. I mean, what are we really talking about? It's not like those people that were in that video from last year have just all of a sudden vanished. But see, that's what the left does. They're trying to, suppress all the positive stuff as it relates to Trump supporters, conservatives, or anybody to uplift themselves. And that's when you have a guy that gets pushed to the ground that's elderly. That's kind of how that works. These people are, in my humble opinion, hypnotized by the media into hatred. Why are you even out there so angry at Trump? Why? He's not your president. It's our president. So why are you even really upset? He can't affect you in a negative way. Now, I understand the support because you support a person like that is doing good things in the world. But if you're mad, what are you really mad about? How can Trump affect you? All right. Your country voted to leave the EU. What that got to do with Trump? Trump wasn't a guy that held referendum. It was your country that voted to leave. So what are you really upset about? Hopefully you get a good person to come in there as the prime minister. That the queen and the royals, they pretty much are just, figureheads at this point. I'm not really sure what they have power over. Like, what do they really do? It's really about the actual government, the parliament. Hopefully you get people in there that know what they're doing, and you don't have any of these numbnuts out there that are wreaking havoc and causing all kind of problems, beating old men in the head, pushing them to the ground. And it's crazy how we have some of the same individuals over here, like the guy that spit on a lady and people that beat up Trump supporters and whatnot. It's very dangerous at times to be an outright Trump supporter. I would go as far as to say that if you come out as conservative, it's more backlash from that than it would be coming out as gay. Shout out to, the LGBT Trump supporters. Some of them have told me, it was like, look, man, coming out as gay wasn't even the problem. But when they came out as conservative, that was the real issue. That's when they really lost some friends and lost some actual ties that they had been having their entire life. So, yes, there is a concerted effort to silence conservatives and to attack those who simply want to support the president and want to support the Constitution and freedom. There's also a concerted effort to squash any support that we get from getting the light of day in the mainstream media. This is why the alternative, quote unquote, underground media is thriving, because regular individuals know what's happening. But I'll leave that right there for now. So what do you think? Do you think that this old man deserved to get what he got? He deserved to get pushed to the ground for being a Trump supporter. If that's your viewpoint, let me know why you think that way in the comments below. Or do you think that I'm correct? This elderly man did not deserve to get that kind of treatment. Nobody does. It doesn't matter what race you are, what gender. It don't matter. None of that is important. Your age. I should be able to say my piece without getting assaulted. And I don't care if I disagree with you. I like disagreements. I like to be able to have debates with those that are on the other side of the aisle as me. Echo chambers are cool sometimes, but it's also cool to mix it up and have a different point of view come in the mix, and we can chop it up that way. I enjoy that. I'm not going to, push you to the ground or hit you or spit on you or anything like that because I disagree with your particular political beliefs. I don't even like doing that because I feel like if I get into a scuffle, now I'm going to get in trouble. I got to go to court because I injured you. Let's just have reasonable discussions, reasonable debates, and keep our hands to ourselves. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.